Okay, Wessex Camping and Outdoors. Thanks to Henry for fitting me in a last minute booking. A lot of gear, so I've got to get this set up. New tent. I don't pay full price for anything. Hello, Wessex Camping and Outdoors. Outdoors for an overnighter. Testing a load of products. Thanks for joining me. So what I found is, because it's the tunnels that the poles go through are completely in the sleeve, there's no clips, it's a little awkward to get all the way through. Make sure when you put the poles crisscross, they go right past the edge of the fly, so they don't bind up hitting a skirt or anything. Crisscross first, and they locate in nice brass eyelets. They've got like a ferrule at the bottom, very nice. So, you know what it's like, don't you? If it was 20 mil less. Yeah, well, that's why you do rows. So, Hotel to Wessex. Just enough pegs, but you do get a spare guy line and it looks like a repair patch. The bags that the poles and the tent pegs come in are a lot more resilient. It's more like ground sheet material than the usual sort of, cheap ass thing. And the ties are stitched on. The amount of times I've been in the bag at the end when you got there, and all you do is get these ties and you're trying to sort them out because they're loose, but they're stitched on the bag. So for that and the poles, really one that is loose is obviously the one that bundles it all up together. So I'm going to get the inner up now and then leave it in. So what job? Always got that sort of Christmas feel of putting your inner up for the first time. I will say the plastic hooks that go into each corner, the sort of black plastic D that's in each corner, it's quite hard to bring back in from outside. So the first time you put it up, make sure you flip the D so it comes in more. But other than that, quite simple. I don't think there's one halfway, is there? No. So I shall go to here. Same again, there's a sort of ring there, and it's used to sort of, if you ever sort of, what was a duffel coat with the woggles and toggles. So you've got a plastic sort of lozenge shape, putting it through a plastic ring. A nettle somewhere. And then doesn't seem, no, I don't think there's one in the centre. Nice big gap between the inner and the fly. Just offer up, make sure I haven't missed one. fold that down. Got a bit of a fold on one of those bits of a sort of skirt. But there's plastic hooks everywhere. And finally, I can get on the ground sheet. I'm not going to fit, but hey, we're up and it's in. Thank you. Best laid plans. The aim was the vestibule is just big enough to be able to sit in with the chair and the vestibule. It's just big enough to sit in with the chair. Now, way back when I was out with Joe, I got this in a sale, and it's a huge sleeping bag. Huge. The measurements across the widest section for blokes or whatever, it says 800 millimeters. So if you put a ruler up against me, from there to there is about 550. So jungle bags are fine for the summer, but I find I'll get an arm out, nothing really sort of fits. The full size winter bags are alright, but sleeping bags generally ain't much cop unless I get a monster, which this one is. Keeps going. That'll fit. So as the light's fading a bit, I want to get this task with the blade sorted out before it gets too dark. I thought I'd introduce you from a camping YouTube channel into a few heavier duty knives every now and again. So this is called a cold steel Recon Scout. It's very thick steel. It's a full flat grind with a terminal edge put on it, and it's coated with a sort of resistive black coating. Being it's a full flat grind, it won't split as great as something that's got more of a wedge cut to it, but it's still more than capable, and it's a very stout blade. As you see, I haven't got my hand on it when it actually starts to strike. As you get to doing heavier things, like sort of that, you know, you'd use this to drive it through. So let's just see if it'll stand up. And go like that. Starting to, you can hear it pop, pop, pop. That's enough Now just let the weight of it goes, and you've got into a sort of chunky log that you wouldn't have otherwise if you had a Swiss Army knife, if that makes sense, or a Mora. You wouldn't put a small stick tang through that sort of brutal use, and you get to stuff like this and just tap it on the thick section rather than the thin section too much, and then just gradually work your way through. This is the sort of hard work that a survival knife should be built for. The whole battening thing is a real black and white viewpoint among the outdoor people. I look at it as if you've got a knife that's full tang, stout, tough steel, good heat treat. It should take something going like hit, hit, hit. Not too hard on the thing. You heard that split then. That's good enough. And you're through. You know, I'm not hitting it with the back end of a lump hammer. It's driving the wood apart. You get into the inner wood, but you're not going at it like a complete lunatic. You're getting through, and that's enough starting wood. When you get to something that's that big, just warm it up by the fire, and the fire should get to it eventually. But there's a quick look at a Cold Steel Recon Scout. It's quite a stout tang within it, and it's just sort of a polymer handle. But yeah, very general purpose sort of Bowie shaped knife. Plan B, I shall get the fire going and put the canteen cup on the embers. Nice. Ooh, that was a bit hairy. Just enough starter to get that going. Obviously I'm warming the fuel through. So I got the tent pitched opposite side of the wind. Nice. Okay, plan B. I have a metal cup. I have water. I have some beef and rice. I have a stock cube and a kielbasa, is it? Oh dear. Now normally I'd have those Matheson big long U-shaped German sausages. I thought these would be the sort of handmade equivalent. They are in a way, but I really don't like them at all, but it's what I've got. So, water, rice, and yeah. Anyway, waiting for that to die down. Let's get it on. Right, so it's one of these with the sort of GI handle things. It sounds fun. Once we drop it in the fire. Fire. Dun. Does it move? Well, that's pretty warm. Oh yeah, oh yeah, bring it on. Nice flat stones, Henry, like it, like it. So trick here, got a big fleece just to keep the wind as it comes from this direction through to the fire. Just keep that coddled down whilst my meal gently weeps. So, honestly, is there anything much better than a gentle fire cooking your lunch? You go, yeah, of course, where's Wessex? Central heating, double glazing, loft insulation, cavity wall insulation. If you've got 4 boards, stops the feet sinking in the ground. Still to make some soft ground, sort of spaghetti floor plates for these things. There's nothing worse than trying to dig it out of the ground with a spoon. Nice. It's really nice to be able to sit on a chair-sized chair. Over the years I've had a sort of fold out National Trust metal canvas stool. It worked. Obviously your legs are bent and you're literally sort of in a squat position on the floor. But this a Bowie quick fix travel seat with a fleece into the sort of bucket of it. Very comfortable, very warm. Good bit of kit. But it says that you need round discs with maybe a Forstner bit hole in them to locate the feet. So on soft ground it spreads the weight. And you just chuck them in the bag or something. Maybe G10. Okay. About that for a expedient tea. Beef, savoury rice, 1 stock cube, and this is from Lidl. On a cold night, that'll do nicely. Yes. It's hot. That'll do. Right, let's get this fire going after the tea. Yeah. Right. So I dare say there's nobody within half a mile of me. Think about when you are out alone, as it were. I've got various layers of redundancy in many areas. Clothing. It's like the stove packed up this evening. I just used a canteen cup, stuck it straight in the fire. I've got various ways of making fire, various ways of accelerating the fire, plenty of wood, cutting tools. I got a brand new tent. Now even if the inner was a bit ropey, I still got the outer. Doesn't matter because I still got a car. I'm off the ground. I got a sleeping bag, blankets, plenty of clothing. So plenty of redundancy within the systems. 3 litres of water over 2 containers. So rather than just having like one big 5 litre thing which may break or whatever, I got it across 2. And there's a spare sort of fruit juice bottle with 900 ml of water in it in the car anyway. Just so when you're out, you're at ease within your own skill level, so that most things that you'll encounter, it doesn't matter, you've already come across that sort of thing before, or you've got areas within your skill set that will get you out of dodge, or that you've got the mind and the education of being outdoors and knowing about cold, knowing about, make sure you drink well, think about what you're doing. When you're using cutting tools, be deliberate, it's not a race. Have a first aid kit, make sure your shelter is suitable for the season. This tent here, the walls go right down to the side, so I should have quite a nice cocooned evening. Plenty of layers of clothing. And as I said, I got a fully charged phone. The signal's good enough for ringing out. Got a multi-tool. I've got 3 torches. Plus I got the light on the phone as well. So be prepared and you should have a wonderful time. Okay, so settling down for the night. There's a really nice hook right at the top in the corner there. So I've hung my car keys with a little O-light, the IR2, little twisty thing. So I've got a night light there. All the rest of my stuff just really laid out. You know, phone, main torch, whatever, just on the floor. But there's a nice hook up there. There's also one cleat here for some reason. Maybe it's for washing line or something, I don't know. There's enough room in here to sort of you stand and stoop to get your trousers on and off, which is nice. There's nothing like being able to, you know, get dressed in the mornings when you're knocking on 50. Anyway, settled in. Our beds up together, and see you in the morning. Good morning. Been there all night. Within the Euro hike range, you get a model called a DLX, a Deluxe. Now both the Backpacker Deluxe 2 and this one, the Avon 3 DLX Deluxe, has these lovely little windows in the vestibule area. So just show you what these things do. Right, here we go. You got a little window, and you've got these little privacy sort of covers here as well. So you can let some light in if you wanted it, or if you wanted some privacy, you got these lovely little covers there as well, or you can roll them back out of the way with the cleats, and you get them both sides. Plenty of ventilation, 2 at the front there, 1 at the back. Now we didn't tie this one out, and that meant that this side sagged and nearly touched the bedroom inner, so that's something to remember in windy conditions. If you've got a bit of rain, make sure that you guide that one out. I couldn't be bothered today because it's light wind and no rain, so one less peg to put out. But for me, plenty of ventilation. And then when you go into the bedrooms, when you've unzipped the door, roll that up, stuff it into this triangular little cubby hole there. Pockets for your maps, chocolate. Alright, your jerky goes in the corner, and in the other corner. And there's a good hook in the ceiling there, which I had my car keys with my Fly 2R on. But as you can see, it's very dark in here because they've got this like a night model, so it's blackened slightly. So when I go to Edale, 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun's up, and if you had a late night, you'd be able to sleep in a little bit longer because this has darkened the interior slightly. But hey, show you other things. Taped seams. Taped seams, no large stitching holes anywhere. Very well made. So I'll pitch it next time. It'll be cross pole, porch pole, peg it all the way out. But I'll put tie the ground sheet in first on the hooks before I set the distance for the front short pole there and there. But other than that, very pleased by his guidelines. When you're around people who don't know about guidelines, kids running, they fall over, they do. But when the covers come on over the top of the doors, each one has really good skirt underneath it. But on both doors you got some really good overskirt here with Velcro at certain places. There's a Velcro patch there, so as you come down through, hold on to both zips. So you know, it's quite wide. Sort of guard there. Got your tie-offs. The only thing it's a little bit awkward is because it's almost fully tunnel for the poles rather than the clips. It's a long chase of the poles through, but handsome little tent, that. Very pleased. And I paid £68. Oh yes, I have the patience of Job. 200 MRRP down to 80. Nah mate, still not cheap enough. So Millets were suddenly doing clear 15 and I struck. So if you're not desperate for gear, if you're ready to wait just that little bit longer, bide your time, let the rush happen. Buy in November. Yeah. Twice the price of a tarpaulin. I got what I worked out over the year that I wanted, which was a Eurohike Avon 3 DLX night. And I can get my seat in the porch, I can sit in it, I can get up at night, sit on my airbed to put the trousers on, to stand up-ish, stoop to get out, boots in the vestibule, my chair in the corner there, I can put my hand on the chair, put my boots on before I go out the door. You can actually end up finishing getting dressed in there with a chair of support that's high enough inside to be able to do it. I'm 5'8". That was the plan and it all worked out. So thanks for joining me again, Scott from Wessex Camping and Outdoors. Beautiful little Avon 3 DLX from Eurohike. Once I get that packed up, we saw the size of the bag. It's not that much bigger than a backpacking tent, but there's an extra pole, there's a few extra pegs, there's more guy lines, there's a vestibule. I was prepared to take the weight because I want using it over the Cairns model, which is like that but without the bit of a porch coming out, if that makes sense. So yeah, bide your time and wait is my advice, if you can. So thanks for joining me again, Wessex Camping and Outdoors. See you on the next one.